It is another beautiful day of working on the old Yukon Delta houseboat. I don't know what it is about the days that I pick to work on this, but they're always windy for some reason. So if the audio sucks, sorry. Um, but so a little update. I did a few things off camera, not much, sorry. I know I should have recorded it, but it is amazing how much faster I can get things done without recording. So but I'll kind of flip you around here. So I cleaned it out really good. So since a little bit of leaves and stuff have got in, but there was a lot of dirt, leaves and stuff and trash in here, but I cleaned it out so good. This is the cleanest the hull has probably been since it was new, and probably will be cleaner than it ever will be again. And also I took it to the river yesterday, and with the assistance of my lovely wife, I had her back me in. That way I could see. I knew there was a spot where water was seeping in before, but I just wanted to make sure, because I forgot to mark it. That way I can repair it. So there was a spot, you can kind of see where I'm marked right there and right there, as well as a couple spots right here and here. So here's my plans on how to address that. So I'm going to take and put fiberglass, just one layer of fiberglass and epoxy resin there and there and there to seal it from the inside. And then, so I crawled underneath the boat and looked. There is a small little like nick, I guess you would call it, in the fiberglass. And what I think I'm gonna do there, and I don't know, I get mixed opinions when I talk about this, but I think I want to put like a Line-X covering or some type of rubberized sealant down there to where it'll completely seal it, plus add an extra layer of protection, because that is the lowest part of the boat. I guess you would call it a keel because it's a tri-hull, but it does stick a little lower than the rest of the boat because it's not a completely flat bottom boat. So I just figured, hey, that would offer an extra layer of protection as well. So that is the plan, and I believe that will completely stop any water leaking issues. And first step, what I'm going to do is I brought my sander up here. I'm just going to kind of lightly sand these areas. That way I have a good place for the fiberglass and epoxy resin to stick to. And then once I do that, the next step is going to be starting up here. And I'm going to put some wood right there to kind of help brace it up. But come starting with the plywood, and I'm going to start up at the top and then just work my way back. Ultimately, this should be a completely sealed hull. So hopefully I won't have any issues with leakage and stuff in the future, but I've still got some thoughts and different things on what to do in case it happens. So I'm gonna get to sanding. Got it sanded. Wasn't gonna do much to it, just to kind of rough it up, just kind of make a new surface basically for the resin to stick to. So I got a new product I'm trying out, not sponsored. Jesus, that'd be awesome if I was sponsored for something. I didn't have to just pay for everything out of my pocket. But hey, if more of y'all like and subscribe, maybe that could happen. But I bought this on Amazon. True fiberglass resin, marine grade polyester resin. Never used the product. All I know is I know nothing about resin and all that. It says marine grade, so that's good. Comes with a bottle of hardener. It's a little different than the stuff I used before where you mixed it 1-to-1. That was a whole lot easier. So I've been sitting here like twisting my brain into knots, doing my best to figure out what I should mix it to. It does have some very rudimentary instructions on the back. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it has to do with different percents and all these fancy things, which I really don't understand what means. So but this is what I do understand and what I figured out. So in order for me to have enough of this to use the entire gallon of fiberglass resin, I need to do 2.5 ounces per pint. A pint is about 473 mils. So the gallon should hold about 8 of these little cups. So 2.5 ounces per that little cup. Could be wrong, I don't know. It's the best I come up with. We'll see what happens. Good thing we're practicing just like on the inside on a part that don't really matter a whole lot. And yes, I cut out some fiberglass. I'm using this stuff. It's a little better quality fiberglass. It's not just a chopped strand, so it's kind of the more expensive stuff, but I had some scraps of it that I wanted to use up, so this seemed like a good enough place as any to do that. So I'm going to mix this up and put it on there, try it out. So let's see what happens. All right, got my resin. Fixing to mix my hardener in with it. And it actually comes with a little gauge on the side, which is handy, so I should know how many ounces I'm putting in it. Alright, squirted that in there. Mix it up real good. I don't know how much you're supposed to mix this. That's one thing about this stuff, it literally don't come with any instructions. So I was just kind of Googling and trying to figure it out. Love that. Love it when a product has no instructions. Makes it real handy. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of overlap these just a little bit. And I didn't bring a brush, so I didn't figure I really needed it. So I'm just going to use a scraper and just try to pour a little bit on here. So here's to making a mess. Probably should have brought a brush. Maybe I should just do one a piece at a time too. Look at that, y'all are learning with me. And once it sticks, it'll be alright. I gotta say, this is, out of this whole project with the boat, the fiberglass is the part that stresses me out the most, and is the part I dread the most. I don't really know why, but it is. I think a lot of it's just because I've got no experience with that, you know, like I've framed up things, built things before, that I've just done wiring, plumbing. I've never done anything with fiberglass before. So maybe by the end of the project, I'll feel a lot more confident with it. How's that for looking at the glass half full? There's probably so many people out there that are really good with fiberglass and they're like, wow, this guy, he's so gonna sink his boat. But you know what? If I do, I'll try to make a video about it. And that'll be more entertainment for you. Free entertainment. But let's hope that don't happen. I don't know, I have found that it seems like using brushes before, it just gets all gunked up and it doesn't just really work very good. So this method seems to have worked pretty good for me in the past. And yeah. So now that is there, very important that you grab a drink and use your roller just to get any of the air bubbles out. And there you go. That is one fiberglass patch. So I've still got 2 other spots to do. I'm not going to, you know, record myself doing that the whole time. So I'll bring you back when I get done. That didn't go quite as well as planned. All right, so these looked awesome. These look perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Great. This, awful. Not good. So it started gelling. Like, it was working right here. That was doing good. Then right about in here, it started gelling. I panicked. Like, that's what it turned into. Just gel. I panicked. I just dumped the rest out here and tried to use my hand. Thankfully I was wearing gloves just to try to smear it in to make it work faster, but it didn't work. But this whole area, the main spots was right here that I was concerned about, and right here. So this one, it's questionable. It had good right in here, but right through here, obviously it didn't cover as good. But I think the spot that was actually seeping water in is kind of covered. So I'm just gonna roll with it. And I plan on, like I said, putting that paint of like rubberized sealant coating on the bottom keel. So it'll have it from either side. Now I know that a pint will start gelling in about 5 minutes. I think that's maybe why I hate working with fiberglass. I'm a pretty laid back, easy, go at my own pace kind of guy, and fiberglass just, it says no, you need to do this now, and you need to do it fast, and you need to be uncomfortable and miserable the whole time. So yeah, that's my experience with fiberglass. Next steps will be to start getting that prepped to put a floor in. I'm just gonna move right along. All right, my kids got home from school. I got a little distracted and wasn't recording some stuff, but I've still been working. And what I've been doing is this. All right, so this is treated lumber right here. As you can see, there used to be some lumber down here, and they had like a little fiberglass coating over it. I'm not gonna do that, honestly, because for one, I'm gonna have to take all this foam out. I don't really want to take that out because it's still good. But it's treated. There shouldn't be any water up here. So what I did is I took a hammer and beat it in as far as I could, and I put another piece right here on top of it, and I even put a piece of plywood on. I'm gonna get this piece of plywood off so I can show you what it looks like a little better. So I always get a lot of questions and comments about the framing, the flooring side of it. So I'm trying to cover this pretty good. So as you can see, oh my goodness, my watch is just blowing up. So as you can see, the board goes under there, and I was able to actually hammer it in to where this now is supported. So it's even more solid, which is awesome. And and I cut this piece of plywood, because as you can see, it goes straight and then it kind of goes down a little bit into the hull of the boat. So this piece is a little shorter. I cut it to fit in here. I'll be able to just screw it down there, and I figure right here I'm going to just take a one of those I don't know if you can see it leaning up a tree, you can't see that far, but one of the 1x, put in here as support on the bottom, and then I'm going to sand this and go over it all with fiberglass, just this whole thing, to where it's going to lap over and go over it on fiberglass. So the stringer will be attached to the floor. I'll be able to screw the stringer directly into the floor. Maybe that's a good idea, maybe it's not, I don't know, but it should be solid. Another thing I'm trying to keep in mind is when this thing's going down the river, bouncing on the water, I don't want it squeaking and going crazy inside the cab. So I want to attach it any area that I think could possibly squeak and make noise. I'm trying to minimize that to the best I can. But yeah, so did a little more. And another thing, so this void down here, as you can see, big void. I plan on, once I screw it in, I may even fiberglass over it, this layer here, but I'm going to take some foam and put in through here some spray foam to fill up this void, which will also help just make the floor that much more solid. So I'm really happy the way this turned out with it being solid right there, because obviously there's going to be a door, well, I guess not obviously, but there will be a door right here in the middle, and so this is where you come in and out just constantly. And so with this being solid as can be, that's what we want. So pretty excited about that. I cannot wait to get a floor in this thing. Once I get the floor in, oh man, I have a feeling the framing and walls are going to go so fast. It's going to be so exciting to do that, and just being able to walk in here without, you know, having to watch where I step. And it kind of gives, like fiberglass just gives a little bit, you know, that's normal, it's still strong, but it's just going to be so nice, so nice. I actually remember, I'm kind of a fan of AO fishing. I like his channel, but I remember when he was working on the itty bitty, and he talked about when he got the floor in it, he was just so excited, and I totally get it. But I wouldn't say I really like AO's channel. He's not the inspiration for my build. I actually had my houseboat before, and I was doing research and different things and trying to get ideas on what I wanted to do. So I was actually looking through YouTube, and that's how I actually found his channel originally, when he was working on the itty bitty when he first bought it. But it's been cool watching his journey with it. I wish he'd come out with more videos with it regularly, but you know, he's got good content anyways. So but yeah, sorry, kind of squirreled there, but I'll bring y'all back when I get something else done. Time for an update. So as you can see, I'm in a different location. I have the use of a shop for a little while, and I'm going to take full advantage of that. The owner of the shop is in between tenants, and he told me I could use it until he gets it leased out again. So that's great. I'm really looking forward to having a place in the dry. And I'm wearing the same shirt, but it's been 6 months since my last recording. But good news is I have not done nothing. I've been working on the boat in these last 6 months, and that's exciting. So it's not exciting for you because you didn't get to see what I did, but I've got a few pictures that I can slip in here and there. But I had a buddy that was going to help me, and we just got after it a few days, and got a lot done. So let me show you what I got. If you'll remember, last time I left off, I was talking about putting the stringer across there and fiberglassing it in, and then fiberglassing over this. Well, it happened. There's a stringer in there, and it's all fiberglassed over and solid as a rock. I still have to do the sides here. I've got a fiberglass over that, and then put some wood in there, fiberglass over that. But this has been fiberglassed over, and hold up. We got the slope done, and that was a bit of a challenge because the boards cut a weird angle through here. But it all came together. It's very solid. I'm so happy with how solid it is. And as you can see, I got busy. We got busy, me and my buddy. We laid all the floor out, and I have been laying fiberglass, and it ain't real pretty right now because it got rained on, but this is just dirty. It's where I sanded it after I laid it. As you can see right here is a spot that is not sanded. And then right back here, I just laid this piece of fiberglass the other day, and it is not sanded. And you see how it's shiny, but the rest of it's just sanded to where it's kind of smooth. I think I'm gonna go over and put some kind of layer of paint over all this. It's not necessary, but that's what I want to do. So if you remember, I had stringers, a few stringers across here. I ended up connecting those with a treated 2x4. I'll show you the picture now. Okay. And back here, I've done some interesting things. So I built another stringer here. I should have another picture of that. I'll insert it now. So I put this board across it and fiberglassed here, and then I have it to where I can put a drain plug in right here. And the same here, you can see I haven't fiberglassed that yet, but that's gonna go in there and that'll fiberglass that. Same on the other side. So that way I've got a few spots for it to drain. So these are the low points, especially that's the lowest bilge point. But for some reason, these Yukon Deltas, they have this little low point through here. But for sure there'll be a bilge pump there and probably a smaller bilge pump on either side. So it'll have 3 bilge pumps in the back. But yeah, this is exciting. Trying to think where else I'm at with this. The next step is to lay some fiberglass in around these to kind of fill up that space there, and then put the last little piece of fiberglass over this back piece. It's only like 2 foot. I mean, I'm so close to being there, and I'm so excited about it. And then I need to put 2x4 across here and build up the stringers here and fiberglass over that. I am so close to having the fiberglass done, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about that. While it's in the shop here, I'm gonna be working on framing. Hopefully this next week, framing will be going up. So I'm really wanting to get the floor done and make that one video. That way I can do all the framing and windows in another video. So anyhow, I'm gonna get to it and do some more work. So while I was preparing and getting this ready for me to lay some fiberglass, I realized I need to do a little bit more sanding. And I was doing that, getting it prepped, and well, I need some more sandpaper disc. So I guess I gotta make a trip to Lowe's. And also, the bottom of the bilges, it's weird doing it with this angle with it facing me. I don't know what's happening right now. But anyways, they're really dirty, and I need a vacuum cleaner to kind of clean them out first, so I got to get that too. But Lowe's trip, here I come. Made it back from Lowe's, and I got some goodies. So this is what I got. Got some 60 grit, some 80 grit, and they had this guy on sale. 36 bucks. Heck yeah. That's what we got here. Just takes my regular batteries that my other drills take. Oh yeah, neutral. Oh, got rubber grip handle for extreme vacuuming. Yeah, boy. All right. Awesome. But sun's starting to get heavy and I don't have power on this shop yet. So power is supposed to be on tomorrow and I am ready for that. It'll be very nice to have power. I'll be able to work late in the night then. Yee. All right, let's see what this thing's got. Wow, this thing sucks. Get it? It sucks. All right, so like I said, I'm losing my light and I was getting this prepped and I noticed something I don't really like. So I was noticing there's this big gap right here. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but whenever you stand on it, it really flexes it a lot. So I think I need to get a piece of 2x4 or something and stick underneath here. That way it'll just offer a little more support because it kind of goes across through there and it doesn't really meet contact real good. So just something right there just to make it solid on both sides. So I guess I need to do that before I start laying the fiberglass on it. But it is pretty well prepped, ready to lay. So that won't take long, just to throw some 2x4s in there and start slinging some fiberglass. All right, so I got some fiberglass cut into the bilge areas. So I've got to fiberglass that over. And I also caught part of the stringer. And excitingly, I have lights now, as you can see, in the shop. And there's my lovely wife. She is supervising, making sure I do a good job. How am I doing so far?
Perfection.
Perfection. Y'all heard it first, guys. Yep. Anyways, let me get this fiberglassed over. Another day working on the boat. I've got some more fiberglassing going in, got the front stringers in, and let me show you what I got going on. All right, so I finished that last little bit. So the floor is officially fiberglassed, done. Awesome. Got the stringer, fixing to do the fiberglass over the bottom part of it. I got my buddy Cameron that is supervising. Thanks, buddy. No, he was helping me. We was getting the stringers up here kind of cut in on both sides. So yeah, making progress. Have got the heat rolling in the shop. Yeah, it's a good day getting some more done. I am this close to having all the fiberglass done. All right, so I got that all fiberglassed in. Looks great. Took an immense amount of resin. Now I know I say it looks great. I just sanded over it so it looks really rough. It looks like it has patches in it, but she is very solid. Ooh, look how dirty my hands are. I've got the top part of the fiberglass cut on all four corners. And so now I'm fixing to fiberglass over that. And I also kind of swept up the middle here because I was scooting around on my booty on the floor the other day and your boy got fiberglass in his booty crack, and that is not a pleasant experience. 10 out of 10, don't recommend, because I was itching, I'm still itching. Little shards of fiberglass where little shards of fiberglass do not belong. So I decided I would try to clean up this floor and sand it a little bit more today. So I did that. Have I mentioned before in this video that I really don't like fiberglass? Because, yep, don't. And so anyways, I'm about to do the last bit of fiberglass on that because I have big plans for this weekend. This will probably be the end of the video here shortly. That way the whole floor is in one video and done with. And I think that'll be a good stopping spot. But Friday, I've got me and 4 of my buddies. We're gonna try to start up on the framing. I think we're there. So hopefully the framing is gonna go up this weekend. That should go really fast. And getting the windows fitted in and all that, it's gonna look really cool. It's gonna look different. And that's gonna be a video in itself. I don't know about the metal siding, if that'll be going on in that same video. Just kind of depends on how much footage there is. Maybe make 2 separate videos out of that, but either way, y'all, this project is really helping this winter because I've got a shop to go in it. You see, I still got the heat going and it's sleeting outside. So if I was not in this shop, it wouldn't happen. But it's nice because I tend to get a little bit of seasonal depression during the winter. Hate being cooped up inside. It's just no fun. This has been giving me something to keep my mind busy, a project to look forward to, knowing that once it's done, I'll be able to enjoy being outside, outdoors, on the water, year round. Don't matter how hot it is, don't matter how cold it is. I'll have heat and cooling on this boat, and I'll be able to enjoy time with my family and my friends. I'm just super excited about it. And so I'm driven. It's got me some motivation going. So I'm ready to get this wrapped up. I'll bring you back in whenever I have all the fiberglass done, and I'm contemplating painting the floor. So I'm gonna think about that for another day or two, but I'll bring you in if I do. I think that would be a nice way to wrap up the end of this video, and it'd look all clean and nice and pretty. So until then. Well, it's a pretty exciting moment. I'm filming the outro to this video, which means the floor is finished. It's fiberglassed, it's done. The stringers are put in, they're done. I was wanting to go ahead and paint it, the floor, because I thought that would be a cool way to end the video and give it a good clean look, but I'm not going to. I've got buddies coming over here in a little bit, and spoiler alert, we're gonna be working on the framing, and that's gonna be a whole separate video. So by the time I could paint it, you're gonna see framing, and it just wouldn't flow right, you know, with the YouTube world. So anyhow, this is it. This is it. Let me show you the stringers. Right now I'm working on sanding them just to make them smooth, even though they're all gonna be covered, but I mean, freaking rock solid. Very happy with the way that turned out. Pile of lumber over there. Gonna be starting working on framing it soon. I've still got to sand these, get all the loose stuff off of them. But yeah, that's the floor. In a nutshell, is done. So nice. Just look at that. It is incredible how much work it took to get it to this point. But we got it there. I'm excited to start working on the framing. It's really gonna look like things are changing soon. So I'm gonna hopefully record all that as much as I can. My buddies are kind of wild and rambunctious, so hopefully they'll be YouTube friendly. I may have to do a lot of editing, but that's all right. So anyways, thank you so much for following along. Like, subscribe if you enjoy watching this journey. Hopefully you'll enjoy watching me get it on the water this next year. That's gonna be really enjoyable for all of us. So anyways, thank you. See ya.